to the show, Ron. I'm super excited to bring up your next comic. He's got multiple stand-up comedy specials on YouTube with millions and millions of views. Warm welcome for Andrew J. Rivers, everybody.
All right. Hey, thanks for keeping that going until I almost got up here. That's very nice. Clap. All right, hurry the fuck up. It's not that long of a walk. All right. Thanks for coming out to Enumclaw. It's good to be here. I went to school here, actually. Yeah, University of Phoenix, online. So I just got a new roommate, and I'm trying to kick him out, but it's tough because he's a spider. I was leaving the house one day, I saw a spider on the ceiling, and I was like, shit, I don't own a broom. Probably has a bunch of fucking bugs in there. So I left. I got a broom, I came back, I'm getting ready to kill the spider, and then there was a fly in my room also. I was like, I don't have time to be chasing 17 different insects. I'm a very famous comedian, I got a show at Enumclaw in 6 months. Get ready for it. So I look at the spider, I go, hey man, you take care of that fly, I'll let you hang out for a couple more days. I smoke a lot of pot, so I left. I came back, the fly was in the spider web. He fucking got him! He listened to me! I look at the spider, I go, way to go, buddy! He was like, yeah, he's got 8 legs. That's the whole joke. I didn't want you driving home like, I don't get the spider thing, but, you know. I know, starting with a math joke in Enumclaw. Very brave. Thanks for coming. You picked a good show. I'm very famous, and that's not supposed to be a laugh yet. A couple years ago, I filmed a special with this website, Drive Art Comedy, and if you've never heard of Drive Art, it's basically Netflix for Mormons. Yeah. I'm not Mormon, by the way. That's not I used to look very Mormon. Like, even as a kid, if I rode a bicycle, my whole neighborhood went into lockdown. Not that there's anything wrong with well, there's a couple of things. If you're not familiar with the Mormon religion, you're not allowed to have like alcohol or caffeine or fun, right? Unless your idea of fun is riding a bicycle in a suit, so they made a service where you can edit out offensive parts of TV shows, right? Say you're like a Mormon boy and you want to watch Game of Thrones, but you're offended by nudity. You select from a menu, no nudity, and you just watch the other 13 minutes of Game of Thrones. I told my dad that I was filming a show with him. He goes, do they have the opposite service? I was like, I think that's just porn, Dad. I don't know. How much dialogue is there to skip? Here's your pizza. Boring. Fast forward. Let's see some tits. Drive Art ended up getting sued by Disney for $60 million. Because check this out. You're not allowed to take people's movies and edit them and then charge people. Who would have seen that coming? But bank error in my favor, because after that, they were like, who else can we take advantage of? And then they were like, comedians can't read contracts, you know? So I filmed a comedy special, got 15 million views in the first year, and after that, I still owed them $5,000. So that's why I'm here. You know? Came to take your money in person. I was watching a movie the other day with a friend, and a canceled actor popped up on the screen. It really kind of ruined the movie, because for the next 20 minutes, we're just thinking about all the shitty things that the guy did, you know? We're not really focused on the plot line. We're like, Kevin Spacey as a love interest, that doesn't make sense, you know? I feel like we need a Netflix for liberals, right? The Mormons have their version. What about a Netflix for liberals where it just shows you each canceled actor and what they got canceled for? And then you can decide whether to skip the scene, right? It's like, oh, possession of cocaine, and you're like, I mean, who gives a shit? Live your life, right? Jerked off in front of a girl in his trailer, oh, but it's a really good movie. Voted Republican once in 1984, fuck that, take away his family. Ah, he doesn't deserve to live. It's funny who gets canceled and who stands the test of time, you know? I can't believe Van Gogh paintings are still worth millions of dollars. That guy cut his ear off and mailed it to a woman. Talk about unwanted advances, you know? He's like, I'll show you who's a good listener. I guess it had to be hard to flirt back then. You couldn't just send a dick pic, you know? You had to paint it. Oh, it's a starry night indeed. Have someone deliver it. Hey, this one's for my girlfriend and this one's for my mom. Don't mix them up, right? Oh, so you're a bird. This is gonna go well. That was the first tweet. You had me until that joke. All right. Thanks for coming out. The world's gone to hell, and comedy's more important than ever. You know, but yeah. It's been a crazy couple years, but hopefully one thing we take away from all this is recognizing things that are actually important to all of us. And for me, I couldn't have made it through this year without family, with money. I mean, that made things so much easier. My brother lives in Hollywood because he's a big-time director. You might have seen some of his work, actually. He does all the TV commercials for Taco Bell. That's pretty cool. I feel let down by my high school guidance counselor. I didn't know that was a job. He gets paid millions of dollars a year to be like, when I yell action, eat the taco. I don't know. So stay away from the dog. He's a biter, you know. Also, I've never been in a Taco Bell commercial. How is that possible? Have you seen my hair? It's perfect. I thought Hollywood was all about nepotism. Guess it doesn't run in my family. But he's got 2 kids, so I go visit all the time. I still remember the day he told me I was going to be an uncle, because he came downstairs after work. He was like, we're having a baby, and we need you to move out. I was like, this is bullshit. This ain't treat family. But the kids are great. He's got a beautiful 6-year-old angel baby girl and a 9-year-old cunt. And he's a boy, but he's a cunt. It's such a perfect age, though, you know, 6, because they can actually like walk and talk and get me stuff from the fridge, you know. You gotta be careful too. They're smarter than you think already at that age. I had an incident recently. Okay, I'm allowed near schools, relax. Here's the problem, whenever I fly, I try to bring a full-size pillow on the plane, and I'm sure TSA thinks it's weird and flight attendants make fun of me. I don't really care. I just smoke a bunch of pot, I get a window seat, and then I wake up in a new city, you know? Like, oh, I time travel, this is amazing. But recently I was visiting my brother, and his 6-year-old comes running up to me. She's like, you forgot your pillow here last time. I go, oh, how did you remember that it was my pillow? She goes, it smells like you. And I was like, oh, shit. She doesn't know it yet, but in 10 years, she's gonna be at Coachella like, hey, this concert smells like my uncle. Someone's burning rope over here. My brother is sending the kids to private school in California, so, you know, they're probably filling their head with all sorts of liberal propaganda. Yeah, like history books and all gender bathrooms. This is where I lose Enumclaw, for sure. I never understood the bathroom controversy. It's never been a sexual place in my like, every time I'm in the bathroom, it's an emergency. I'm not trying to stick around and make friends. Hey, cute dress, where'd you get it? Like, no. I'm just pretending to wash my hands and getting the fuck out like everybody else. I've never been in a stall like, you know, if a senator taps my foot right now, you wanna fuck? Hell yeah, I just made room. You can slide right in. That sounds hot. Kids are not fucking in the bathroom. They're in there for a long time because we raised them on square pizza and chocolate milk. And they're vaping. They're also vaping, but they're not fucking. But I get it. You want to protect the kids. You don't want some old man in a dress reading them books because he might diddle them. Okay, don't send them to church. You know, it seems pretty simple. The calls coming from inside the confessional. The books thing scares me, right? Because if we take away books from kids, they're going to have nothing in their backpack to protect them from all the bullets flying through the hallway. Don't get mad at me. I was a loser. I chose comedy, okay? There are better options available. I'm an Enumclaw, actually. My brother just got baptized for the first time recently at age 40. And we weren't raised religious at all, so my parents found out. They actually freaked out. Then they called me up. They go, "We're worried about your brother. We need you to check in on him." I'm like, "Hey, relax." As far as a midlife crisis goes, Jesus is pretty mild. You know? It could be worse. At least he's not buying a Corvette and abandoning his family. Too close to home for Enumclaw. I apologize. I'll change it to pickup next time. Look, there's nothing wrong with Jesus. It's great for his life and his family. It just sucks because sometimes it gets a little judgy if I want to catch a buzz. We took a family vacation recently and rented an Airbnb together. At the end of the night, I just opened the door to smoke a joint on the porch, and my brother starts freaking out. He's like, "Don't do it out here. It's not legal in this state. I don't want the neighbors to freak out." I'm like, I knew weed made you paranoid, but I thought you had to smoke it first, you know? Also, we're in Florida. I don't think they're gonna care. Florida is just happy I'm not doing bath salts. Like, literally, that is the state of low expectations, right? I think that's on their flag. And I get it. I used to be embarrassed I smoked pot until I started touring America as a comedian, and I realized how popular Oxycontin is. And I was like, I'm doing fine, you know? Yeah, thank you. Drugs aren't a big deal, in moderation. I'm worried about you guys, but the rest of it, no. Drugs are like speeding, right? Yeah, speeding's illegal, technically, you know. But as long as you're going with the flow of traffic, no one's gonna care, right? If you're going 80 and some guy flies by you at 150, who do you think the cops are going after? Exactly, the black guy doing 55. But that's besides the point. Like, I don't want to be a hassle, you know? He's paying for the trip with his Taco Bell blood money, his Taco Bell bloody stool monies. I'm like, all right, you just tell me where to go. He goes, "Oh, across the street, there's an abandoned field. Just go smoke out there because I don't want the neighbors to freak out." So now I'm standing in an empty field at 1 in the morning, like, I think this is worse. I'm pretty sure the neighbor's gonna peek out the window, see a tall, dark, shadowy figure in an empty field, a lighter flickering in the wind. Hey, is that Scarecrow trying to light himself on fire? What the fuck is going on over there? You know, now that I'm out here, the stars are really pretty tonight. Why don't I just lay down on this picnic table and stare at the moon for an hour? I'm sure there'll be 0911 calls about that. But it only takes 5 minutes to smoke a joint if you're doing it right. So I'm out of there before anyone can notice. And I'm trying to find my way back to the Airbnb, but it's one of those condos where all the buildings look the same. So now I'm in building J, trying to find building C, like a backwards alphabet DUI test, you know? The whole point is not freak out the neighbors, but now I'm tiptoeing through Nana's rose bushes and peeking in windows. Is this C? Where am I going? Finally, I give up. I call my brother to come rescue me, and he does. We get inside, he's giving me this big lecture about drugs and Jesus. At the end of it, I go, "So you're telling me whenever you feel anxious, you just remember that Jesus loves you and everything feels better?" He was like, "Yes." I was like, "That's what drugs do for me." You're talking to a guy who's not there. I have imaginary friends. We're not that different, you and I was like, "I think you should try drugs. You would fucking love it." That was about 2 years ago, and now he grows pot in his backyard. So I won the conversion battle. Take that, Jesus. I became an accidental pothead during COVID. I used to smoke just a little bit, and then they closed everything except pot shops and grocery stores. I was like, this economy needs me. I'm a hero. I will order Uber Eats every single day so these frontline heroes can survive. But after 2 years and a couple million people dying, I had a thought, do I really want to be inhaling smoke in my lungs every night? And turns out the answer is still yes, you know? But I'm trying to quit. I just got out of rehab, actually. Boo! He was like, rehab for pot, you pussy. It's not a real rehab, it's just what I nicknamed my parents' house, right? It's really the only time I'm sober more than a couple days in a row. And they know that I smoke pot, and they don't care, they're just boring, so it'd be a waste of drugs anyway. I try not to smoke at my parents' house anymore. My dad had a cancer scare this year. He got cancer. It's very scary. He's doing fine, but his dying wish is that you laugh at the fucking joke, so step it up. Yeah. I'll tell him. He's not dead yet, but he'll get the memo. I noticed that whenever I tell people my dad has cancer, if it's a young person, they always go, oh, I'm so sorry. And if it's an old person, they always go, what were his symptoms? Because young people are like, I'm gonna live forever. And old people are like, I'm gonna die tomorrow. And people in their 40s are like, do you think this beam will hold? Clapping a little too much, you should see some therapists. I'm here for you. Anyway, my dad just moved from Vermont to Las Vegas, which is kind of like moving anywhere from Enumclaw, right? You're like, whoa. Culture shock, you know? Stoplights, whoa, you know? He told me he's so excited to check out restaurants because they don't have any chain restaurants where he lived in Vermont, and so he picked out a fancy restaurant. He told me he's saving for a special occasion. It's called Twin Peaks. Yeah, this guy knows. It's more of a restaurant, if we're being honest. I asked him, like, why did he pick this restaurant? Here's what, we grew up in North Bend, Washington, and there was a TV show called Twin Peaks that filmed in North Bend, so he thinks that they're related. And I try to tell him, like, why do you think there'd be a North Bend, Washington themed restaurant in Las Vegas, Nevada? And he's like, well, the Eiffel Tower is here, and that's not from Vegas. I was like, all right, I think I'm just gonna let him go have a fun Valentine's Day. You know, like, what's the worst that happened? He accidentally spices up his anniversary. You know, good for him. It's interesting watching my parents get older because they used to have to take care of me, and now I have to take care of them, right? Yeah. It's a total role reversal. Yeah. Like, when I was younger, he'd be like, don't get in the van, the guy doesn't have candy. And now my phone conversations with him are like, don't give out your social security number, you didn't win a contest, you know? That's my inheritance you're giving away, I need it, I'm in Enumclaw, it's not going well. I tried to switch to and yeah, I'm still smoking. Yeah, I thought, you know, I just figured if Snoop Dogg hasn't had a cancer scare yet, I should be fine, you know? That's what my doctor told me. Dr. Dre. This seems like a good time to point this out also. Just because someone has doctor in their name doesn't mean you should trust them, right? Yeah. Dr. Dre, Dr. Oz, Dr. Cliff Huxtable, none of those guys have your message. Don't sleep on that Cosby joke, that's a good one, okay? Thank you. I tried to switch to a vape pen because I thought that might be healthier. I Googled it. I was like, is vaping healthier than smoking? And it said maybe. And I was like, good enough for me. Closed tab, you know. Look at me doing my own research. I had to quit the vape pen because it was too easy, you know? Like, I found myself, I didn't have the willpower to not roll over first thing in the morning. Like, it's been a tough 3 minutes. I deserve it. I had a bad dream. What was the dream? I ran out of weed, you know? Like, I don't like the vape pen. It's you know, when you make drugs easy, like there should be some stank involved, right? You shouldn't be able to puff a cloud of vapor and disappear like the Batman. Like there should be some shame, right? But now we're making like raspberry flavored drugs. Did we learn nothing from Big League Chew? Come on, guys. When you make drugs easy to use, it's a problem. When you put heroin in pill form, you get Ohio. It's not good. One of my best friends lives in Ohio. I live in Seattle, so she came to visit recently. And I was trying to play tour guide, you know. I was like, oh, check out the mountains and the waterfalls. And a couple weeks later, I was in Cincinnati, so she was like, let me return the favor. Check out our tire fire. Do you want to see a pile of needles? I'm like, I'm from Seattle, we have that. We have the needles, like the biggest one. I was like, I do gotta give you credit. The Midwest sunsets are beautiful. I love all the colors in the sky shows. Actually, it's only 1 p.m. That orange glows from the toxic chemical fire across town. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Ohio's having a rough time right now. Yep. They had a train full of toxic chemicals flip over and spill everywhere, and they cleaned it all up, and they put it in a truck to take it somewhere safe, and then that truck flipped the fuck over. I'm like, who's in charge of your nuclear plant? Homer Simpson? What is going on? Ohio is proof that superheroes are not real. Every 2 weeks they're dumping toxic sludge in the drinking water. I have yet to see a Ninja Turtle anywhere. I have seen a lot of snapping humans, but you know, we have those in Enumclaw too. My friend kept trying to convince me. She's like, no, Ohio's amazing. We have the most astronauts of any state. I was like, that's how I know your state sucks. You're bragging about how many people try to leave. But I was curious. I was like, why does Ohio have more astronauts? And so here's what I found out. In June of 1969, one of Ohio's rivers was so polluted, it literally caught on fire. 1 month later, July of 1969, the first man landed on the moon, and Neil Armstrong is from Ohio. Whoa. It sounds like he was looking at water on fire. And then he saw the moon and he was like, can't be worse, you know? I can't imagine, I mean, I'm not making fun of you. If you're from the Midwest, I think you're brave, you know? Of course, if you're an astronaut, nothing scares you. Probably shouldn't. Probably shouldn't what? Make fun of people from Ohio? I think, imagine an astronaut from Ohio. He's like, I've heard Jupiter's gravity can kill a man, but my depression is also crushing, so I'll take my chances. At least no one can hear me sob in space, you know? Then he gets up there and he's like, wow, what a beautiful planet. It's a gassy giant with rivers of lava, just like home. I take it back. Ohio actually did grow one superhero, LeBron James, yeah, but he fucking left too, so, you know. Turns out everyone great from Ohio either goes to space or to Space Jam. Oh, all right, that's fair, all right. You guys really let me know which ones you like, that's good. So now's a bad time to mention I'm headlining a show December 17th here, so if you hate these jokes, come back and get more, baby. I went through a breakup recently, but don't worry, I'm gonna get her back with these jokes. It's a real surprise breakup. I didn't see it coming at all. I was always trying to keep things spicy in the bedroom, so we always played a game that was her favorite. It's called Sexy Librarian, which is where I'm not allowed to talk and she reads a book instead. I never got to be a librarian. Let's switch it up once in a while. I'm done dating younger women. I'm 38, so most young women have been done dating me for a long time. But just announcing a policy change. 23-year-olds, you're so hot, but I can't even read the font on your Instagram story, so get out of town. I'll circle back when I'm 50 and rich. That seems to be a more appropriate timeline. I'm 38, that's not old, but I'm not a young man anymore. It's time to date a woman who can recognize the signs of a stroke, right? My priorities have shifted. Everyone else on dating apps like, do you have any pets, LOL? What's your sign? I'm like, do you know CPR? This is important. I don't like using dating apps, so I prefer to meet my women in the wild. That's what it feels like. Sometimes, not like hunting, but just like trying to feed a deer an apple in the woods, you know? You're just walking along like, oh my God, you're so pretty. Hi. Hi. Are you hungry? Yeah. Yeah? No. I'll back up. It's okay. Oh, fuck. She ran away. Oh, I wasn't trying to hurt you. Just wanted to have sex with you. Not the deer. I feel like we got lost along the way. I don't know why I haven't met the one yet. I mean, I make good money, I own a home, I have things you could take in a divorce. I'm so lonely. He was like, we'll take our chances in Enumclaw. I appreciate that. I guess it's like my grandma always said, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it suck your dick. So, she was from Enumclaw, so... I wasn't gonna bring it up, but... You guys are proud of that shit? Okay, alright. Let's fucking go! It's funny because, you know, back when they were trying to get gay marriage legalized, they were like, we can't let the gays get married, then people are going to want to marry their dog. And it was like, who's going to want to fuck animals? And then they were like, and you're like, oh fuck, alright. It was like a whole group of them. Small town, nothing else to do. Well, after the show, you can pet my mane, and if you ask for consent, I'll say nay. All right. That little turn got those guys excited. All right, yeah. A lot of scientists thought there'd be a COVID baby boom because everyone was locked up, nothing to do but bang each other. But it turns out the opposite is happening. Like, they're not breeding enough. Which makes sense to me. Like, I don't think parents trapped at home with their kids are like, you know what would make this better? 17 more of these assholes around. Sure, each kid needs his own laptop to go to school, and dad just lost his job. But let's pump him out. It's a pandemic. We don't know how long it's gonna last. We might have to eat one of them. I picked up hiking as a pandemic hobby. What better for your depression than to be alone in the woods for several hours, you know? Just looking over cliffs, like, I bet that would hurt. At least if I fell, I'd feel something. It's a joke, relax. You're not gonna see me on the news. They wouldn't cover it, you know? I was worried about bears at first because I'm a pussy. And I was doing a bunch of research. It's very confusing because online it says like, oh, if it's a brown bear, do one thing. If it's a black bear, do the complete opposite. I'm like, that's fine, but how do I explain to the bear that I don't see color? You know, I'm one of the good ones, bear. I'm on your side. I went back online. Turns out there's like a nursery rhyme for bears. I ain't ever heard this. It goes, if it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. like, oh, I think they got that from LAPD, actually. If it's a polar bear, you say, all lives matter, and he lets you go, so. I got a couple of shirts for sale after the show, so the government doesn't know I make money. And, first one, just a joke about people with fake service dogs. So, my friend has a service dog, but it's a Chihuahua. I was like, I don't think that counts. And she's like, no, it helps with my anxiety. I'm like, the dog shakes more than you do. I think your service dog needs a service dog. It's just an emotional support t-shirt, right? If you're feeling sad, you don't have your service dog or your fake pet. Pet this guy. And it lines up with your nipples. You're like, I feel so much better already. All my anxiety's disappeared. I need emotional support underwear, you know? So he's got a bowl full of pills and the name tag says Xanax. So, you know, something for the kids to wear to school. And all the money goes to charity, by the way. Or Cinnamon, whoever's working. Also got hoodies available, so next time you have a one-night stand, you have something to give her. Besides a baby. And this is a new one. We're so divided as a country. You know, we just need to come together and reach around the aisle. If you disagree with someone politically, give them a hand job. I bet they'll change their mind. You know what I always say? If that ass is round, the earth can be flat. I don't give a shit. People after the show are always like, why does this donkey gotta be the one on the bottom? Like, do you watch the news? We are getting fucked. And I think we kind of like it. So you should buy that and you wear it to Thanksgiving dinner. And then your stepbrother won't talk to you anymore. So, thank you. Is that a big problem every time you get stuck in the dryer? I like the dudes pretending to not get it. Well, I don't even. If you buy a shirt, I'll throw in a free beer koozie, $700 value. We're all selling separately for the alcoholics. And just at J Rivers, social media, you know, Instagram, YouTube, OnlyFans, wherever. And there's a joke on the other side because I saw a bumper sticker one time that said, cars are like wives. If it ain't yours, don't touch. And I was like, what a dumb sticker. So I just made these. They say, cars are like wives. I accidentally banged yours. And I left a note. Okay, calm down. Insurance is going to cover it. Because she was totaled. Am I right?